Happy Valentine's Day and welcome to your second payday proverb from the Money Freedom Movement. My name is Wren, your host. The title of today's proverb is Together or Separate, When to Break Up or Make Up with Your Broke Significant Other. Now, of course, that title refers to the moment when your server comes up to the table and asks, is this going to be together or separate? Isn't that question always awkward? But it's a question that understandably needs to be asked because the only thing that's more awkward than two bills that should have been one is one bill that should have been two. So, listen up. Listen, guys, I know it's Valentine's Day and all, but we need to talk about something. Did you know that roughly a third of couples that get divorced in America today cite, and I quote, differing money styles or financial infidelity as the leading cause of their divorce? Now, money styles simply means one's attitude towards money. So to figure this out, you'd be asking questions such as, are you inclined towards spending as soon as your paycheck comes in? Does the money burn a hole in your pocket? Or are you a natural saver? Does it help you sleep better at night knowing you have a full savings account set aside? Oh, but even us savers have kryptonite somewhere. So where does your partner land on that? Do you personally see debt as a type of leverage? Are you okay with running up credit card debt and car debt and student loan debt and other forms of debt because of the lifestyle it affords you? Or do you see debt as a burden and unnecessary risk, whether you started that way or you've come to believe that now? Is debt something you want to get rid of and live a debt-free lifestyle? Are you wanting to intentionally pursue a path to build wealth or live check to check? And where does your partner land in all of that? We need to talk about it. Financial infidelity, a slightly different reason some couples cited for their divorce, is basically when somebody cheats on their partner financially. It's a very serious situation. So, for example, a secret gambling habit. One partner has a secret gambling habit that causes them to blow through the couple's 401ks, and the other spouse discovers it years later when it's too late to rebuild. One spouse, another example, surprises, quote unquote, the other with a large purchase that went undiscussed, like a new car. Now, of course, those situations are nuanced. You have to know your partner, all of that, but that could be an example. Or maybe you and your spouse came to an agreement, an explicit agreement to stop sending your brother or your parents or your friend rent money, but you go behind your spouse's back and send the money to them anyway because you feel bad. These situations happen every day and can feel like betrayal just as deeply as physical infidelity. So what can we, the people of Team Not Married Yet, do to avoid finding ourselves in these kind of situations? Well, team, we must be better about asking clear, money-related questions at the appropriate stage in the relationship. If we don't ask, most likely we'll find out, but we'll find out when it's a little too late. So, what do we do? What do you do if your romantic partner, your romantic interest is broke? Now, the first thing I'll say is being broke is not an automatic disqualification. And another qualification, being broke, when I say that, it does not equal necessarily making a lower income. Because I know plenty of people pulling in 6 figures a year who are broke, living paycheck to paycheck and just treading water. So, being broke is not an automatic disqualification. It is all about the mindset. Is this person temporarily broke or are they indefinitely broke? If they're temporarily broke because they've made some past mistakes and haven't handled their finances in the wisest way, or life has hit them hard recently, or they're in between jobs, whatever the situation, this might be an opportunity to have some fun in your dating relationship. You can work together to figure out how to date frugally, and work with them on that until things are more stable and you're able to kind of expand on your dating activities more. If you see the hard work from them and the intentionality, you can ask how you can support them in their own financial freedom journey. Now, if this person is indefinitely broke, if you ask them about money and they're just like, yeah, got it, it's all good, I need more information. We need to be asking some very clear and direct questions like, what are your financial goals? How do you handle your finances? And most importantly, where are you going? Now, you don't have to ask it with that attitude, but you need to figure it out. We need to find out. Because should you two continue on long term and say eventually get married, you're going to be trying to navigate life with two different roadmaps. He's going to be working his way through a roadmap of London. You're trying to navigate life through a roadmap of Paris, and you are going in two different directions, and you cannot figure out why you never get where you're trying to go. So we need to say things like, hey, I really want to work on this long term, really interested in taking things to the next level. But I also know that if we have different convictions and lifestyles around money, we're going to be putting our relationship at risk. So can we spend some time learning and working together on this? You'll learn a lot about that person from their response. Now, when is it okay to bring up money? Is this the first date? Is this a month in? Is it 6 months in? Is it a year in? When is it okay to bring up money? Well, in my world, immediately, but I talk about finances for a living. I'm that friend who, asks people about their student loan debt upon meeting them the first or second time. But that's my situation. And in fact, people usually just offer me details about their financial situation when they learn that I'm a financial coach. If you are not in that situation, it still can come up pretty quickly, even as soon as the first date, if you bring things up appropriately. So if you're getting to know somebody out on a date, out on a coffee, whatever it is, you don't have to come at it aggressively. You could come at it from the angle of just saying, hey, I've been learning some cool things on this website from this financial coach I follow on Instagram. Can I share some of that with you? It's been really neat what I've been able to learn because of her content. So, cool. Very, very non-confrontational way to come at it, and something you could bring up early on. Because, you're not going to ask for their credit score and their income and their debt balances and their social security number up front so you can creep on them. But these are the types of questions that you want to be building trust towards, because these are definitely things we need to eventually get to in the relationship before things are kind of sealed in long term. Now, some things to keep in mind. You cannot change someone through romance. If you are bringing up the topic of money and you're not encouraged by the answers you're hearing, and you're not hearing willingness to grow or to change or to make adjustments or to learn, the kinds of habits you see from them now will be carried into and amplified in a marriage situation. You cannot and should not attempt to reparent or fix your romantic partner. Let me say that again. You cannot and should not attempt to reparent or fix your romantic partner. Time to get two separate checks. As I said earlier, being broke is not an automatic disqualification for a romantic relationship, but being unwilling to grow or communicate openly about money is a stop sign you should not blow past, because that is an attitude you do not want to be tied to in a marriage situation. Now, if you want to expand your conversations, you want to go deeper, you want to get to know this person's financial past and start working on these in this area, you have to provide a safe space for your partner to share their mistakes with money. We have all made mistakes. None of us have handled our finances perfectly, including you and including your partner. So be somebody who provides a safe space for them to share. If you're at that point where you've worked this conversation over with your partner a few times and you're not encouraged by your progress, then if you're at that crossroads, do a gut test. Now, this probably comes later in the relationship, after you formed a level of trust with them. But at some point, you need to ask yourself the question based on how they behave today after these attempts to talk about and work through finances with them, based on how they behave today, not based on how you want them to behave. Would you trust this person? Can I trust this person to take care of me if I were to hand them my last paycheck in the world right now? Could I trust them to handle that money wisely if I had my last paycheck in the world and I knew I was going to be without for the next month? Would they handle that with wisdom, or would they blow it? That will tell you a lot about whether or not it's wise to move forward. If there is hesitation there, or if your heart really sank there, we might have an issue. We might have a situation. But if there's a level of comfort there, or there wasn't a big hesitation or anxious reaction there, then this might be a situation you can still work with, okay? Just find out more information. Ask them about their money story. How did they grow up? What were they taught about money? And what are they learning today? Every situation is going to be different, and there's no clear and direct path. But like I said, we have to be better about asking clear and direct money-related questions in our romantic relationships before marriage, because by the time we're married, we're going to find out things that we wanted to know earlier, but it might be a little too late. Now, exercise this with grace, knowing that you have not been perfect. I have not been perfect. Your partner has not been perfect. If you see signs and willingness to learn and to grow, you could have something that is workable there. Now, I have loved thinking about and writing about this topic, so I'm planning on actually continuing to work this material and expand it into an ebook or a book or whatever, some other form of material to reach more people and help more people think through these situations. So please give me your feedback. I'd love for you to tell me what kinds of stories you have, what questions you have, situations that you're trying to work through. Let me know, and because that would help me a lot to build a book or a resource that is helpful to you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. Let me know what you think on Instagram. The handle is @KimWren2009. The website is themoneyfreedommovement.com. Check out coaching and other resources there. Or shoot me an email, kim@themoneyfreedommovement.com, to share your stories, your questions, and your comments. Until next time, be relentless in the pursuit of your freedom. Take care, y'all.